second project with our Select collection, we're going to use this one, which is our Remembrance embossing folder and die set. Now look at that, I've lifted that quite a way up and it's still in place. That's because it fits into the little grooves just there. Now again, you're going to have 4 dies with this collection, just like you did on the one we looked at before. And this time I'm actually going to use the largest die, so can you see there's no embossing around the outside because I've clicked on the largest one, and then I'm using the smallest one, so that's going to cut me an aperture out. So all I'm going to do, so I've clicked them into place, nice, I know exactly where they are. Then I'm going to put my card on top. I'm going to fold that down. So then I want 2 3mm plates. So what have I got here? I think I've got 2 3mm. So I'm going to pop my embossing folder in first, and just as I did before, hinge to the top, so it captures it and grabs it as it goes through, and then that's going to go through my die cutting machine. So whilst that's going through, I'm just going to show you, if we talked about it earlier, we also have the foundation dies, and these are the foundation dies. Now with the foundation dies, they match the shape of your largest die that goes with your embossing folder. Oh, that's a bit noisy, isn't it? Let's take that out so it shuts up. There we go. Get that to stop. There we go, right, quiet now, there we are. So, but you'll find that the largest die, if I open up my embossing folder, there we go, and show you that, which is absolutely perfect. When then I show you the largest die, it's slightly bigger. Can you see that is just fractionally bigger? So if you've got your embossed card and you want to create a mat, then your largest of your foundations will work brilliantly. Oh, did you see? Remember I put that die in the centre? There you go, popped it out. It was just holding in place. Gravity hadn't grabbed hold of it yet. So all we can do now is let's move this embossing folder out of the way, because I've got a small desk and lots of things on it. So I'm going to get my magnetic shim. Let's get that out of the way. And my 3mm plate. I'm going to pop the largest one of those dies on. I'm going to get some beautiful blue card, turn that over, and then we can cut that out. Now what you do here is it up to you. So I've got this, and then I can get some ink. So I've just got my blue blending ink from Rare Earth, and then I'm just going to get a dauber. Excuse that, that's just die cutting while we do this. And I'm going to go round the edges. Now just put a dusting on. We don't want to put too much on. There we go, just a hint of blue all the way around the outside, just there. There we go. And if you wanted to, you could also ink round the middle, the aperture. But can you see, just a little hint. Now the other thing you can do, let me just get a wipe before I end up with ink over bits that I don't want it on. There we go, that's got rid of that. What you can also do then is, let me see if I can find a quickie glue pen, and you can't find, there it is, there's my quickie glue pen. Everything's down here. So you can then pick up one of the bits that you like, and I can pick up like here, go all the way around and add a little bit of glue to frame it. Now look at that. So inked and then glittered, looks beautiful. Can you see, just shimmering ever so slightly. So that is how I've done that. Oh, where's my plates gone? I'd forgotten I'd got something cutting in the die cutting machine. I do that, get distracted, but look at that. So then we have the perfect foundation die as well there. And what I could have done as well is cut the centre aperture out, and that would have given me the aperture. So we can start to put this together as a card. So let's make an easel card. So we did a shaped card a few minutes ago. Let's do an easel card now. So all we've got here is a square tent fold card, and then we've cut not the smallest but the second size of the circles in the middle, because remember these dies will cut as well. And then we've folded that in half, and again just adding that blue ink around the edges. So then I'm going to take my blue cardstock that we've got. And remember, there was a USB that came with this collection that was absolutely jam-packed full of backing papers, some faded, some solid, some shaped to match the dies and embossing folders. So many ways to use it. So I can pop my, oops, that's stuck. Now this is why sometimes it's nice to put a little bit of glue on your foam, because then if it does catch, like this one keeps doing, you've still got time to release it. And then I've got some paper. Now look at that. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous from our USB? Now this has just got some foam tape, not foam tape, finger lift tape on the back. Just taking that round just to there. And then now let's make sure I've got this the right way up. That looks good. And we can pop that in there. So that's going to be the center of my easel card. And can you see this is the shape we're going to go with eventually. So next we want to take our shaped one. Now this is going to go on the front. Now if we put this on here, we've got this solid white on the back. So all I've done is I've done some mats and layers to go on here. And again, these are just in the same configuration as we've got on the inside. So just a rectangle of card, and all we've done is we've cut this, used the largest of the circular dies to cut the aperture out, just so that we can see through it. That's all we're trying to do. We can come through here, there we go, and then that one, and then that one goes just there. So now when we put this on, so what you'll see is I've only got foam on the bottom half, and that's because I don't want anything on the top half, because this will be the front of my easel card, and that will now go over there, just like that. So you don't have to line up everything in the center too much. All we're trying to do is make sure that nothing is visible, so that we get the perfect aperture in the middle. And then once we've done that, we take this one that we've just cut, inked and glittered, and that's going to, so can you see, no longer can we see everything in the middle. So if it doesn't line up perfectly, don't worry about it, because we've gone one smaller now. And we can pop that onto here. Let me make sure I'm still the right way up. It's just easier to work. And then that's going there. So can you see how perfectly the larger dies make a matte layer there? Now I've got another layer here. Whoops, goes that way around. Now if I put white on white, so all we've done is gone down one size of die, it sort of gets a little bit lost. So all I've done is I've used that same die here to cut a piece of card. So I didn't have a foundation die to match that. So I've just cut a piece of card, used my die to cut a piece of card, and I've just cut it in half. And what we're effectively going to do is create a little bit of a drop shadow. So I've got thinnest tape onto here, and that's going to go, turn that round, and we're just going to create the smallest drop shadow. There we go. And then the same on the other side, just round here, and that's going to go just on there. So can you see we're just creating a little bit of a drop shadow, just like that, and that's now going to go on there. So now you can see it really picks up because we've got that blue showing, and then you can see we've got the foam. Now if you wanted to, you don't have to line everything up. I'm just going to show you. If you wanted to, you could start to mix and match things up. Right, I think that's the last one. So in theory that goes like that, but how about putting it like that? I quite like that. That looks quite nice. Or you could even go like that. Actually, I'm going to change this up, and I'm going to pop it that way because I really like that. Don't think I'm supposed to do that with that, but doesn't that look lovely? So we can pop that there. Now remember, we're sticking everything down at the top here. It's just on the first layer that we don't put any adhesive, so it works as a lovely easel card. And the final one I've got is I've got a small one for the centre, but this time we are going to put the white on white, so I've made sure I've put plenty of blue ink around the edges. But you know, if you think at any point you've not got enough ink, just go back in with your dauber and add a little bit more. And again, this fits perfectly in there. There we go. Isn't that lovely? And all the time we're going to be able to see through that aperture. Now it's not going to act very well as an easel card if we don't create a stopper. So I've created a stopper here with another piece of this beautiful pattern paper, and that's going to go, let's just see, so that's the same length. We just need to pop it onto the end, if I can get it straight. There we go, and that's going to go all the way along here. Now I've put a piece of foam tape on the back. So all I do when I'm doing this, lift up my easel, work out roughly where I want it to go, and then I put my stopper. Now I'm going to pull this forward just slightly, and I'll show you why, because what I've also done is I've got a sentiment here, and again I've used those foundation dies just to cut that out. Can you see? So we've done the same shape as the outside but smaller using the foundation dies. They are really useful. Turn that round. I've got a matte layer just there, and what I've done is I've put my foam tape down the centre so that when I then pull it off there, I can then pop that. Now I'm going to come just slightly off centre, and I'll show you why in a minute. There we go. So that now is my easel card. Let's see if I can just start getting my glue gun warmed up nicely. So that is absolutely gorgeous. And if you like clean and simple cards, you might want to stop there. But what I've actually done is I've cut out some of my flowers. So let's just check which flower I have cut out, because it'll be on here. So I have cut out the delicate. So you've got the 4 flowers and obviously the foliage and a centre. So I've cut them out of white paper, not even out of the charisma. You don't have to. And then I've just got my dauber. I had some that weren't very well inked, like this one here, and then you can just go round the edge and add your colour. So if you don't have access to a printer, or perhaps they weren't in the colourway that you wanted, then you can colour them yourself. Look at this large one here. Let's just show you how to put the ink on there, just going round the edges just like that. There you go. A bit heavy on that one. Just got a little bit more on there to match it up a bit more. There we go. Right, so if you want to, you can also do the backs, but I'll show you. This is a different way of shaping these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my pokey tool, and I'm going to curve the edge over. Can you see? Just curve like that. So I'm going to go around each petal, and I'm doing the far side of my petal round my pokey tool. So many tools. Now once I've got round, I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to do the same on here. I just find it easier to work in that direction, hence why I've turned it over. If you're quite flexible, you can work from the top on both sides, but I just find this easier. And can you see? There we go. We've got almost like a bit of an S shape with the petals. Can you see that S shape? Very subtle S shape just there. So let's do it with another one. Shape around the edge, and because this is paper, it actually allows you to do quite a bit of shaping. And don't worry, we can always add a little bit more after the event once it's shaped. So we can just come around here, just doing the second side of each petal. It's just another way of shaping them. You'll find the way that works for you. And then I'm going to do 2 of that size. So I've got 1 of the largest, 2 of the next size, and 1 of the third size. We haven't actually, I was just looking at the dies there. I haven't actually used the smallest one on these, but you can if you want to. I find I often sit and make flowers up, and then they're there when I need them. Because sometimes when you want to put a card together, you don't want to have to sit and make the flowers. But maybe you've got a quiet hour, sit in front of the TV, or while you're waiting for something to happen, I don't know, tea cooking or something like that, then this is a perfect thing to be doing, just like that. Right, so still a little bit tad flat at the moment. So what we're going to do is bring in my foam mat. I'm going to get a poker tool. I'm going to go for this size to begin with, and then I'm just going to shape it around. And you can always just come a little bit just down that centre just to shape, and if you need to, just shape it round. Can you see how pliable paper is? Really does allow you to add a lot of dimension. There we go. Let's go a bit smaller ball tool here. I'm going to do that bit first. I need my smallest size. That's what I love about these ball tools. You've got 8 different sizes all to hand. You haven't got to think, oh, have I got all my ball tools with me? You've just got these 4 and they make perfect. Then we can shape. I need to go up a bit here. Shape just there. Now look at this. This is flattened a little bit. So all I would do then is just reshape them. Flowers do take a few minutes to do. I'm not going to lie, you're not going to just get them done in seconds, but it really is worth it. So let's come round here. Bigger ball tool for that. And this smaller one, we're going to go down to that size. There we go. Right, so once we've got to there, let's see if my glue gun's nice and warm. I do find hot glue is easier. So we can put a little bit of hot glue on there. Still working on my foam mat. Put that onto there. Oh, should have kept my ball tool out. And then just press. And again with the second one. And then get rid of that glue string. Don't worry about those, we can get rid of them at the end. And then just press. And then the third size into the centre and just press. And then what I've got is I've got a stamen. I can pop that there. And then a little bit of hot glue. And then there. Now this is where it really starts to shape, because now you've got it like this, you can then get individual petals and shape them where you want. It's much easier to pop the shape in once it's put together. So I can really bring it up and I can shape. But how pretty is that? Can you see how gorgeous that is? All I would do, because I've done blue ink around the outside, I would then get my blue liquid pearls and I would just pop, get a bit down, there we go, I can feel that, a nice blue liquid pearl in the centre. Doesn't that look beautiful? So I'm going to pop that onto one side because the pearl's a bit wet and show you these, but you can see I've done exactly the same, shape them and then put a liquid pearl in the centre. Aren't they gorgeous? So bring the card back in and then I'm going to shape a few. So I'm going to look at my card and work it out. Hopefully you can see on there. Now if I've got my sentiment down here, so I'm going to work up in this corner. So I'm going to take the largest one and yes, I want the smaller ones here, but I also need plenty of foliage. Now from the breathtaking we've also got the baby's breath. So I do mix and match them quite a bit. So I'm going to take that and put that there. So get my glue gun. If you noticed on the last ones we used the pin flare glue gel, but either way works. We can put that there and I'm going to quickly pop a leaf under while it's wet. Then I'm going to get the next one. Oh, let's get another leaf and pop that one just there. Now that's glued onto the leaf. I need to just pop a bit of glue under there. The leaf absorbed all the glue. Pop that one. Then the third one is coming to go just here with the leaf. It's so important that you use your foliage. So this is the foliage has been cut from the charisma, and then I've got my baby's breath and I can pop that under here, just one there. I think I need to put 2 of those together so that it doesn't look too random. We can pop another one just there, and I've got a third one. I can then just pop, got lots of glue strings, but we can get rid of all of those at the end. Put that there. Do I need another leaf up here? Let's have a look. Yes, I'm going to put that there, that looks nice. I've actually just stuck that inside the petals. There we go. Right, let's get another glue stick. See if I can find one quickly. There we go. So I can put the last flower on. Pop my glue in there. So now I'm going to pop my card just there like I want it. I'm going to get my final flower. Put my glue down, there we go. And I'm going to get the final flower and I'm going to pop that to that side. So this is why I put my sentiment slightly off centre, because I knew straight away that I was going to pop another flower just down the front. How about that? We haven't used any charisma. We've just done it all from coloured card. Oh, we have used a bit of charisma for the foliage, but coloured card and ink and glitter. Isn't that gorgeous? That would be beautiful for a wedding card. I think that can show you that flower down there. Isn't that gorgeous? That's one of my favourites. I really like that.